Man, today we got some wild to talk about. We've seen sneakers like this before, and they've all performed extremely well in this secondary market. When it comes to these, I have to say I am expecting the same thing. These should be a really solid cook, and they're dropping very soon. More on these and how you could cop them later in today's video. So, welcome back everybody to another episode of Sneaker Updates. This is going to be Sneaker Updates number 121. If you happen to be new here, feel free to subscribe and enable post notifications. This way, you stay 100% updated on every hype sneaker. Essentially, in this series, we go over sneakers that received updates throughout the week. For example, some of those may potentially include some Jordans, Dunks, and more. With that short intro out of the way though, why don't we jump right into the first update. Kicking it off with some Jordans for today, we'll be seeing the Jordan 3 Midnight Navy drop on January 13th for $200. This colorway is very similar to the True Blue Jordan 3, only without the red. While Jordan 3s haven't been performing the best lately, I think this is one of the better colorways. Nonetheless, at best, I'd only expect brick profit or lunch money with the poor margin if you have no tax for these or if you have local buyers, otherwise, mostly just personals. Then we also just got a release date for the Jordan 4 Bred Reimagined, which we discussed in yesterday's video. These will be dropping on February 17th for $215. I'm personally really happy to see the Bred 4 coming back, but I would have preferred a vintage vibe like the Reimagined 1 or 3s rather than this leather, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Regardless, I'd still expect this classic Jordan 4 colorway to be profitable with a good margin. We also got a date for the Chris Paul Jordan 1 Low Give Them the Flowers. They are going to be dropping on October 24th for $160. As we keep getting closer to this drop, demand seems to be holding up quite well, so despite the slightly elevated retail, I'd still expect them to be profitable with a decent margin and potentially even better, especially in large sizes. Next, we got a confirmed date for the Jordan 11 DMP, or I should say the Gratitude, as many of you have corrected me in the comments below. Yes, obviously this is not a defining moments pack, it's just one sneaker, but I mean, everyone who's been collecting sneakers for a very long time is going to refer to these as the DMP. Anyway, this is a grail for many collectors, and I'm sure tons of you are just as excited as I am to finally be able to grab a personal of these classics. These drop on December 9th for $230. Yup, those raised the retail on us again by $5. Anyway, there should be over 1 million pairs dropping, just like other classic Jordan 11s like the Concords and Breds, but regardless of that and the high retail, these have such insane demand that they should still be profitable with a subpar to decent margin, especially in big sizes. And a lot of money can be made on this drop considering how many pairs you might be able to grab if you dial in, considering there's so much stock on these. Then we also got a date for the Jordan 1 Royal Reimagined, and man, I'm really upset over these, I have to say. I would have definitely preferred a vintage vibe over a Jordan 1 mid on sale at a Nike outlet vibe, but, you know, to each their own. Anyway, these drop on November 4th for $180, but hypothetically speaking, if there were to be an early drop sometime soon, it would be posted with all details and endurance like all shock drops are. You could join with the link in the description below. Anyway, I'm honestly expecting this colorway to be mostly personals with brick profit at best, considering what was done to them. But if there were to hypothetically be an early drop, you would be able to make some small profit if you sell these before the main drop. Then we also got a confirmed date for the Jordan 5 A Ma Maniere in black and also in diffused blue. They will be dropping on November 22nd for $225. I think both of these came out pretty nice. I like the aged look that they went for, but since they are Jordan 5s and retail for $225 plus A Ma Maniere shipping, I'd say they will mostly be personals or brick profit at best in large sizes. But when it comes to Nike sneakers, when they drop with free shipping, especially if you have no tax, then you might be able to make some lunch money on these. Speaking of A Ma Maniere though, on October 21st for $140, the A Ma Maniere Airship is going to be having a restock. Considering the shipping that the site will charge, I'd only go for sizes 11 to 12, and even then, you'll make lunch money at best. In other news, the Travis Scott Golf Jordan 1 got backdoored, so you know that was interesting. You could feel free to check out my video on it. I'll link it after this one. We also got a date for the Jordan 4 Military Blue. These will be dropping on May 11th for $215. I'm sure tons of us are excited to get this classic back. We just discussed them yesterday, and I saw tons of you were most excited about this pair, and I don't blame you. Considering how similar these are to a UNC colorway and Jordan 4s in general performing well lately, I'd expect these to be profitable with a good margin. More importantly though, we got to get that personal for these. Moving on to some miscellaneous sneakers though, we just got a huge announcement from none other than CPFM regarding a drop that's occurring in just 2 days, and that's October 18th. They just announced that the Cactus Plant Flea Market Air Flea is going to be dropping. Yes, it's going to be on this Wednesday. I believe retail is going to be $220, and I say only because we've seen one of their collabs retail for $600 on their website before, so luckily not the case for these. Now, I know you're looking at these and you probably don't like them, or maybe you think they're crazy, but look, CPFM is known for their crazy designs, and they almost always perform well in the secondary market. Not only are they very limited, but they seem to have built up a lot of demand for their models throughout the last few years. So when it comes to these, despite how you may think they look, I'd expect these to be profitable with a good to great margin. I'll personally be going full throttle on these, trying to get both pairs. I would say that the black pair is going to perform the best of the two, but I still think the multicolor pair will perform well enough for profitability too, so I wouldn't sleep on either of them. Now, how could you grab these? Well, first of all, these will be dropping on the 18th on the CPFM website. That's cactusplantfleamarket.com. When you go to the site, you'll see it does have a password page up, but this is going to go down once they actually drop. Now, when are they dropping? Well, unfortunately, CPFM doesn't really like to announce their drop times, but they do have some common drop times, and that's typically from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, sometimes on the hour like 12, 12:30, 1, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, etc. But they could always do something new. It's completely unpredictable. Of course, you're going to have to watch this release very closely on the 18th. They probably will announce on their social media when it goes live, but as you guys know, you cannot rely on stores announcing their own drops via social media. At minimum, it's going to be 2 to 3 minutes late, and by then it's probably out of stock if it's a first come first serve drop. Follow my Twitter, KeithAdam10. I will tweet out when they go live. However, it is Shopify, so if they drop first come first serve, your chances are going to be low if you're relying on someone to send them manually, even though I'm fast, just because it's still going to be some human delay. Your best shot is, of course, to watch your Cook Group Shopify monitor. Of course, Endurance has multiple Shopify monitors to ensure we always get the fastest ping from all the different monitors out there. So if you're in Endurance, just leave your Discord tab waiting inside the Shopify monitor around the common drop times and stay alert. If you haven't already, I'd highly suggest at least taking a minute to check out Endurance with the link in the description. Not only do we have monitors for every single site, but we also have monitors and provide information for items that go far beyond sneaker reselling. So if you're trying to broaden your horizons as a reseller, especially the way the current markets are for shoes, I'd really encourage you to check it out with the link in the description. So again, if they drop first come first serve, it's Shopify, so you'll have to be really quick. However, we have also seen them do raffles in the past. If that's the case, raffle bots will probably cook this drop. We'll probably add support for it in Gargantua AIO, for example. And just a heads up, Endurance members do get a free 3-week trial for Gargantua AIO with their membership. Meanwhile, if you're trying to enter manually, similar to Travis, I'd suggest trying to jig your info and make entries with unique IP addresses, whether that's with new devices using data and hotspots, or with a proxy switcher Chrome extension. And finally, these will also be dropping on Nike sneakers, but it's going to be on a later date, which of course I'm going to keep you guys updated for. Moral of the story though, you should definitely be trying to get these, even though they look very strange. Next up, the social status Nike Mac Attack Split Vision is going to be dropping on October 27th for $140. Nike Mac Attack had a little hype after Travis wore them, but it's died for the most part since. I'd expect them to just be personals. We also got to look at the Dornbecker Dunk High. These should drop later this year for $125. Then Supreme also just recently announced that they're going to be dropping 3 colorways of the Air Zoom Composite Pack, white, black, and gold, all dropping for $150 on the 19th. I'd say these are mostly going to be personals unless they're extremely limited, which I don't think is the case as of right now. Anyway, that is all I have for you guys for today. Remember, check out Endurance with the link in the description below if you have a minute. Also, subscribe to stay 100% updated on all hype sneaker news. And of course, for urgent updates and info, follow my Twitter, KeithAdam10. With that though, have a fantastic rest of your day. And of course, good luck on all these upcoming releases.